welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the of the Tenacious Turtle Tussle number 23. I'm of course your live VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players, the people in the chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to your bi-weekly dose of Cranky Duckling action. This tournament is open to all regions, all shapes, all sizes, is at a more NA/Korean friendly time zone. So if you're in the land of Europe, if you're in the land of Europa, if you're watching right now, get some rest. And thank you so much for tuning in. I know it's quite late in the land of Europe, and this event does go deep and late into the night, which is also why we appreciate the European players that actually stay up and compete in tournaments like this. Speaking of, we have them for you here and now. We have our first series spawning in the top right hand corner of Ultra Love. We have the Polish Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing his new team, Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is time to get your gamba going. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat as we are here in the quarterfinals. Again, exclamation mark B in the chat. If you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves, the bracket is stacked. The bracket is small this week. It is a small bracket, but it is high quality nonetheless. We have amazing players here to feature tonight. We'll get into the bracket after this series. For now, we're focusing on our TVP. Let us go. Also, for those that are curious, of course, we are on the PTR as always. Over the past couple of months, we have been hosting our events exclusively on the PTR, specifically our Turtle Tussles and our Tuna Cups as well. They've been on the PTR, on the new maps, on the new balance proposed changes as well. Just trying to provide as much feedback, as much data, as much action on the PTR as we can. Not just ourselves, but most of the other open cups as well. They've all followed suit, they've all jumped in, they've all been able to embrace it. But here we go. We are settling into game one. For now, Rax Expand. Rax Expand set up here by Nicoract. So far, a standard opener. I should say an economic opener by the Terran player. The probe is here to delay, to be as annoying as possible. Gerald is being a nuisance and it will eventually be forced back. Ooh, as the SCVs will zone that away. Meanwhile, across the map, we have Gerald going for a gate expand. I should say gate cyber expand here. Standard opener out of Gerald. Economic opener out of Nicoract. As we do settle in, Gerald, he is going to be trying to be once again a bit of a nuisance, is going to try and get away. Right now the goal for Nicoract is he is hunting down that probe. He's looking for the worker as we speak. Does check further back behind the mineral line. I mean, there is a nice little alcove that you can take advantage of. Outside of that, the Reaper is on patrol here, is staying back at home. Meanwhile, the probe is kept hidden, trying to come in for another scout. Meanwhile, we have formation. Oh, as there is a little Roomba. Do love to see it, but we have confirmation further back in the main at Nicoract. What do we see? That is not a third TC. That is not a factory. That is not just one, 2 racks. It's a 3 racks. 3 racks here by Nicoract. Very aggressive build. Basically, this is all building up towards a stim timing. It's going to be a big stim timing here with Mass Marine, and we'll see how much damage Nicoract can get done. Likewise, we'll see if we can sneak out across the map. If you were here earlier this week, we casted Nicoract versus Trap. And Nicoract popped off. He forced the ace match. Didn't take the series, but he did bring Trap to his knees. And how did he take a map? How did he take a game off of Trap? With this build, with 3 racks, with a 3 racks Master Marine stim timing, he was able to bypass Trap's main army. He was able to skirt around across the map, able to move out unscattered, and caught Trap with his pants down. The pants were down. The pants were down. That was earlier this week in the War TV Monday, if I remember correctly. But for now, we're focusing on our follow-up here. We're focusing on our current game. It is going to be a Twilight Council. Twilight Council with the Blink from Gerald is working towards Blink Stalkers. Meanwhile, we have his opponent, Nicoract. He did scout. Yeah, he did scout. He did confirm with the Reaper. He is fully aware of the tech of choice, and that will force a Marauder transition. If this was a Stargate opener, then we'd see more Marine. Because it's Blink Stalker, that's what we need Marauder. Marauders, they do a great job here at locking down Stalkers, at trading against them. Marines tickle Stalkers. Marauders, they just chew them down. They really do trade very efficiently against them, so that does kind of trigger the transition here for Nicoract. It's still 3 racks, but slightly different as he does adapt. Does adapt to his opponent, Adept's going to keep on shading in. Gerald is in the dark as to what's going on. We know what's happening, but Gerald is in the dark. For all he knows, he does see these Marines, but it could be a 2-on-1. It could be a 3cc, 3 racks as well. True, it could also be that variation. So there are a couple of different possibilities that Gerald is trying to piece together. He does at least pick up a Marine here or there. His goal here is to slow down and, more importantly, scout the push. He needs to know when the army moves out, so he knows when to be ready. Already, safety sentry. Safety sentry back at home. Ooh, is going for the hallucination scout. Because of the energy overcharge, it should have energy for a force field as well. This is something that was a little bit dicey in the previous patch. If you go for a hallucination scout, it means you have no force fields or you have limited force fields, and then the army can pop off. Now, in the current patch or in the new proposed patch, with the energy overcharge, you can do both. You can do both, so very nice. He gets a full scout of the main. He knows exactly what's going on, and Gerald should be getting ready. There we go. He moves out with the stalkers. As we did mention, he needs to slow the army down and maybe even force a stim. Up. He wants a marauder. He gets it. One marauder goes down. A massive pickoff. Oh, and he's going to knock down those rocks. The rocks are under fire. Alas, there's a first stim. Stim is used. The stalkers, they get away. The third base is going to be denied, killing the pylon, but the stalkers do survive. This is still nice damage, though, by Nicoract, and he hasn't really lost much of anything. He lost one Marauder so far, bleeding out a couple of Marines. He stims in once again, but he cannot push up this ramp. And he picks up a couple of Stalkers, 2 Stalkers, almost 3 Stalkers go down. But you see here, he doesn't go up the ramp, otherwise he would be force fielded. He's going to trade, gets another Stalker, and he tries to get the hell out of here, but he's going to be chased down. We do see he is cleaned up. Gerald, he does still expand, but this is going to be a much later third base for Gerald, but he's rallying across the map. Massive counterattack here from the Red Protoss player back at home. No bunker. Uh-oh. The bunker was salvaged, so Nicoract is a little bit more exposed, but he does catch the Stalkers. Ooh, he gets one. Late reaction out of Gerald. He does blink away, but he does lose one. With that, Nicoract, he's holding on, building up more bio, getting into his 3-1-1 setup, factory into starport, into double medevac production. With the arrival of these medevacs, now Nicoract, he can stim more freely, he can move out. Speaking of, he does clash in with the Stalkers. Tries to catch him, but alas, Gerald, he does blink away in time. One more Stalker goes down, another Stalker goes down, concussive shell coming into play. And these are pretty brutal pickoffs here. Despite the blink-based opener of Gerald, he has bled out a lot of Stalkers over time. He's lost 6 Stalkers already. Doesn't sound like a lot, but ideally in this matchup, you want to build up your Stalkers over time. You know, imagine this army, but imagine instead of 3 Stalkers, 9 Stalkers instead. Suddenly you can contain your opponent. Suddenly you can threaten the bases, threaten the main base, pick off the medevacs. Would be a different story here. But Nicoract, he has done a good job at picking off those stray units here and there. And now he's moving out. Now the medevacs have arrived. Behind this, we do see, ooh, 2 more racks. My apologies, I should have taken note earlier. I saw the buildings producing earlier, buildings building even, and I just assumed they were the E-bays, but no, the E-bays were thrown down a little bit further towards the left-hand side. This is looking like a 2-base all-in. Basically, Nicoract, he made a choice. He could have thrown down a 3rd CC or 2 more Raxes, and it's 2 more Raxes without add-ons. It is going to be a 2-base. Oh my god, 2-base all-in, the Storms! The Storms do connect. Massive connections here on Nicoract. He takes them to the face. And Nicoract, he's losing a lot of momentum here. The wind has been taken out of his sails. And there's 2 more Storms. And 2 more Storms behind this. A very narrow choke point as well. The bridge is... we can't get through that. Nicoract going to skirt around the edge. He is spotted by the Zonaga. Gerald, he does respond. Does react. I believe the Prism may not have been seen there by Nicoract. Still trying to be active. Oh, there's still another Storm. Gets High Templar. Storm still goes off, but every High Templar is going to be going down. Nice snipes there from Nicoract. Does take a Storm to the face, but he can stim in. He stims in, he catches 1, he catches 2 Marauders. Massive pickoffs, 2 Immortals, I meant to say. At the same time, War Prism into the main. Nicoract, he is committed. Remember, he is 2-base all in. There's another Storm though. Oof. Oh god. The army is deep in the red. 1 more Storm and so much of this can go down. War Prism going back in, but this time Nicoract, he notices. Yeah, he's ready for it. Prism is going to fall, but not before the Warpin finishes. Just in time. Warpin does complete, but there are reinforcements back at home. And Nicoract should defend, but he actually turns everything back around. Oof. Does turn around, is bleeding out some SCVs. Now with losing that War Prism though, I mean, there's nothing keeping Nicoract back. There's nothing keeping him pinned. Now he can focus on his push. Gerald is taking a 4th base. Gerald, he lost most of his High Templar. Checking here when it comes to his army composition. Okay, he has 4 High Templar. That's potentially at least 4 Storms. 2 Immortals. He does have an army to work with. Has Nicoract given him too much time? Tower was knocked down. Nicoract moving out. He does spot the army. Oof. A brutal storm. Oh my god! He stays in the storm a little bit too long. Yeah, that was an insane storm there on the Marines. But the 4th base is going to be cancelled. Cancels the 4th. Catches out some of these Zealots. Gerald not quite in position, going for his own Zealot run by 3rd base on location. This is a very late 3rd from Nicoract, and it's not going to finish. Yeah, it's going to be cancelled. Clearly, the game has gone on too long, and Nicoract, he wants to try to get out of this all in, but he's still in it. Like, he's punished. He's still all in. And the longer this goes on, the worse it is for the Terran. Nicoract, he scans, he spots the High Templar. Medevac's getting caught out. Bio army does get up the ramp, but doesn't get much done. Again, there's just not enough bio here. Takes off a couple of Zealots, drop in the main base, depowers 3 gateways. Not bad. Not bad at all. Gets a gateway, gets a Twilight Council. Gets the hell out of there. Again, these pickoffs aren't bad, but the problem is that, again, pushing into all these High Templar, into all these Storms is not going to be easy. Medevac's getting caught out as well. Nicoract, he's gotten into Ghost production. Still no 3rd base. At this point, it's too late. Like, at this point, there's no shot expanding and getting a 3rd. Towers are being knocked down. This is delaying Nicoract even further. But he does have those ghosts. Oh, Disruptors on the way. Ay. Okay, now there's a chance. The supplies are still neck and neck. Of course, the army supply is in favor of Nicoract, but it comes down to the EMPs. If he can EMP these High Templar... Well, the Storm! Storm does not really connect. Nice dodge there from Nicoract. He picks off 1 High Templar, going for another against 2! 2 High Templar go down. Much more efficient trades here by Nicoract. There's 2 High Templar left, sorry, 4 left. EMP does connect. 1 Storm lands. Nicoract knocking down those rocks. There's soon to be 1 more. Yeah, there's 1 more Storm. Never mind, 2 more Storms. Oh my god, they stack. Oh, another Storm. They don't stop. The Storms keep coming. There's also coming for a surround. GG gets called as Nicoract, he gets locked down, and Gerald, he survives. He takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. There were definitely some strong moments there for Nicoract. Definitely some strong moments where he did have momentum in his favor, where he was getting damage done. I do think that a big moment, though, if you recall, was the Warp Prism. Remember the Warp Prism into the main base? It didn't get too much damage done. I mean, it killed like 6 SCVs, but it delayed reinforcements, and it also actually forced Nicoract back, and that was the moment that Gerald needed to buy time, to buy breathing room, because if you remember, it was just before that Warp Prism got into the main, where Gerald lost 2 Immortals and lost all of his High Templar. He lost all of his high-tech units. Like that was the moment then and there for Nicoract to try to end the game. But Gerald bought time, he got some breathing room, he was able to stabilize from there, and then he was looking quite comfortable. From that moment with that GG, or I should set up. There we go. GG, Gerald does take a lead in the series, and now we're getting into game number 2. Whew. Getting into game 2. And game 2 is going to be on Snowpiercer. She just had SCCT race. Oh, it's been updated. Catching up. I feel like he's been improving so much within the past 2 years or so I kind of thought it was even younger. Yeah, Geralt has been around for a while, but he has been improving a lot over the past couple of years. Like, when I think of Geralt, I feel like Geralt's rise to fame was around 2020. I mean, a lot of these players, I'm referring to Geralt, Nicoract, Wayne, Young Yakov, like a lot of these like younger European players. A lot of them did rise up kind of during the era of COVID, like 2019, 2020, and they have been improving. All of them have been improving so much over the past couple of years. And yeah, we'll see if they can keep going. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Snowpiercer, we have the red Brodos player representing Streamer Zone, leading the series 1-0. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. But yeah, the perception of time is kind of wild because in my mind these are newer players, but like it's still been like 4 years, right? You know, Nicoract, Gerald, Young Yakov, these guys, they were kind of like the generation that, like, the legacy of the Void generation, right? Like, they weren't necessarily around competing in Heart of the Swarm, you know, with players like Nurtio and Snoot or anything like that. So they're still younger, but you know, time has been progressing. It's it's crazy. It's crazy. It was funny though, last week when we were casting Young Yakov and he changed his name to Old Yakov, and we have been joking about, like, you know, when does Young Yakov age up? And then I checked and I think Young Yakov is still like 21, right? Isn't he like still in his early 20s, like 21, 22? It's like, oh my god, it's crazy. Quickly checking. Yeah, Young Yakov, sorry, he's 20. Jesus. Ay, ay, ay. Which means, yeah, we were probably casting him when he was like 16. Crazy. Especially we were casting Young Yakov like back in, yeah, like 2020, so. Ay, ay, ay. But here we go. Here we go. We do see it, Nicoract moving out. Does get eyes on the opener here. Speaking of the opener, double gas opener, which means a racks into factory. It means delayed CC. This I was not expecting on Snowpiercer. As we load into game 2, Snowpiercer is a much larger map, much more macro oriented, so I would have assumed that we would have seen a faster CC. Oh, as we do come in and check. Oh, is there a bug? As Hallucination moves out, it does get a full scout of the main and does get eyes on what's going on. As we do settle in. But yeah, I do apologize if he's referring to a bug that I'm not aware of. As for now, Gerald, he is looking solid. For now, we do have our Twilight Council on the way. Additional gateways as well. It's going to be what looks to be 3-gate Blink Stalker out of Gerald. There's 2 gateways at the natural, 1 gateway in the main, so 3-gate Blink. Something very safe, very secure. Nicoract, he does commit in though. Shield battery is done. And with the help of the shield battery, yeah, we do see that Gerald, he can hold on. Does have a force field as well, if need be. There's a force field. Gerald is holding. He's holding on up. Oh, the army tries to dive in. Another force field. Reapers, they get locked into the natural. Another force field. All the force fields. 1 probe goes down, but a nice defense here by Gerald. We'll clean this up. Not without losing 2 probes. But that could have been much worse. The power of the energy overcharge. Behind this, if you notice something, we are missing a key production building here. No starport. The reason for that, this looks like a 2-base all-in. This looks like a 2-base all-in once again out of Nicoract. Clearly a very different kind of 2-base all-in. This is designed to move out with stim, but also with tanks. We're getting to early tank production here, and most likely this is going to coincide with pulling the boys. Most likely the boys are going to be pulled with this. It's going to be all or nothing. The bio army is building up. I would imagine that Nicoract wants to move out with 3 tanks alongside Stim. And again, it's a bold move for Nicoract to embrace this kind of build here on Snowpiercer. Gerald moves out. Gerald, of course, has map control. He goes for the Hallucination Scout into the main. This hallucination will confirm everything. And I mean, again, this is a byproduct of the change to the overcharge. Now, because of the NG overcharge, Hallucination Scouts are a lot more common, a lot more viable, affordable even. All things above. With that, he sees all 3 racks, sees the factory, sees the lack of starport. He should know now it's a 2-base all-in. Should piece it together. Is looking to dive into the main. Main army looking to move out. Nicoract's trying to keep up. I'm going to see if the boys are going to be pulled or not. Stalkers, 8 damage. Oh, they deny combat shields! Combat shield's going to be denied. At least it's not stim. If it was stim, I mean, that could be game. As the boys are being pulled, workers are going down. Nicoract, he commits. He has to. Stim is done in 5 seconds. And again, if stim was denied, I mean, that would have been it then and there. Jesus. As the army can always recall back home, SCVs are falling. And it's all or nothing for Nicoract. Back at home, we have a second shoe battery on the way. Gerald, he not realize how much danger he's in. But is this a late realization? The tanks are here. Gateway's going to be falling. Immortal will pop out. But we need their stalkers. Again, they're still busy across the map. I mean, most of them went down. 2 gateways do fall. We have a gateway explosion on the way, but Gerald, he has no reinforcements. The rover's going to fall. And Nicoract, he may have just done it. He's came with the production. Again, what is there in the main? This is 1 gateway. Gerald, he can warp in 1 stalker at a time. And the lack of production is going to kill him. We have more gates on the way, but it's not going to be enough. Natural goes down, and Nicoract, he keep going. Send it, man. He send it. He can keep going. The gateways are still on the way. He scans up the rim. He sees how vulnerable Geralt is. The army is overstinned, but he stims and he wins. He's getting on top of the production. Tanks will siege. Yeah, what these gateways, they're not going to finish. Yeah, they're not going to finish in time. 2 gateways are denied. And there's barely going to be another warp in. You can see here, Geralt, he has 1,000 minerals in the bank. But he just cannot spend his money. The main base goes down. And it looks like we're going to the ace match. Looks like we're going all the way. Get the Cybercore as well. Gerald's trying to go for a base trade. I mean, what else can he do? He knows he cannot fight this army. Charge is being chronoed. Let's go. Hoping to force some friendly fire. I mean, Geralt, he does have more production buildings. He does have 1 base mining. True. Ooh, charge does complete just in time. Okay, hold on. This base... Nah, no shot. I was like, if there's nothing at home, there's plenty at home, mate. Plenty. Stalkers do go down. Nicoract, he stims in. And GG gets called. We are going to the ace match. Ooh, GG. GG, well played. As we're getting into the ace match here. And again, like, this was an interesting choice by Geralt. Remember, Geralt, he did scout the all-in with his hallucination. He saw the production. He could piece it together, but he chose to kind of force the all-in by diving into the main. Again, ideally, he wanted to force Nicoract back home, and he did have a bold move diving on that upgrade. And I do think that there might have been a different outcome if he had denied Stim. It was a gamble, right? It was a gamble. You know, 50-50, which tech lab does he go for? Denied combat shields in the end. It's hard to say just because, I mean, there was such an overwhelming Marine, Marauder, tank army. Even if Stim had been denied, maybe like the Bio army still overwhelms anyway. It's very likely. Very likely that would have happened. Regardless, GG. GG, well played. Whew. Nicoract does tie this up, and we are going to game 3. Going all the way to game 3. And game 3 is going to be on Whispers of Gold. Oh boy. And as we get into the ace match, I mean, Whispers of Gold is a much smaller map. Shorter rush distance by ground. Likewise, the 3rd base is also vulnerable. If we were to see a 2-base all-in, I would favor it here on Whispers of Gold. But the downside is, if you've been watching game 1 and game 2, Nicoract has gone for a 2-base all-in every game. Like every single game so far. I mean, it's been different builds and different variations, but all roads lead to Rome. It's been 2-base all-in time and time and time again. Does he do it 3 games in a row, or is this the map where he macros? I would assume that Whispers of Gold, I mean, again, like it does favor a more aggressive build. So on the one hand, I want to say like it can do well here, but on the other hand, like I feel like you have to respect Geralt enough that he is a good enough player. He is a good enough player, of course, that that he can read his opponent play safely and deal with the aggression coming his way. You know, fool me once, sort of thing. Shame on you. Fool me twice, never fool me again. So I'm not too fond of the idea of all-inning 3 games in a row specifically, right? That's where the mind games come into play. It's like, wait, but it's gonna work because he's not gonna expect me to all in 3 games in a row, right? Like, what are the odds? I'd have to be crazy to do that. And then he's crazy. Like, oh no. Oh no. Does he go for it? Into play, it's like, wait, but catching up. Getting into that ace match, and here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Streamer Zone, being forced into the ace match. We'll see if he can keep up with the aggression of his opponents, or whatever it happens to be. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, moving out with his first SCV. Let's go. Does move out across the map. We'll see if he does go for the eBay block or something more sinister. Oh, looking more sinister. We have the blue Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. The SCV does move out, and there it is. We have the proxy. We do have our proxy racks being set up here across the map. Likewise, gases are being taken, and we'll see how hard Nicoract commits here. This could just be Proxy Reaper. And then you get a bunker on the low ground and you deny mining at the natural and just get a force your opponent into a delayed economy. On the flip side, this could be something more committed like Proxy Marauder. As gases are being taken, probe scouts are moving out across the map. We'll confirm that the Rax is missing. Without the second Rax back at home, I would imagine that this is just going to be Proxy Reaper. Just Reaper into that bunker. Probe has arrived. Yep, Reaper's on the way. Bunker soon thereafter. So this is not an all-in, but this is just, again, just an aggressive start here to try and disrupt the Protoss. See being as annoying as possible. Reaper's on the way. The initial Zealot is being forced out, so it looks like there won't be a bunker alongside this. I mean, if there was, the Zealot is almost done. Speaking of, SCV throws down the bunker, but Gerald, he is ready for this. So Zealot moves out to low grounds. We'll see if he can get on top of that SCV. Oh, the SCV! SCV goes down! SCV goes down to the probe, forces a cancel as well. Very nice defense. Didn't even need the Zealots. Didn't even need it. Reaper dives into the main, going for a second probe kill, and is forced out. Is going to be forced out. And so far, a decent setup here from Gerald. I mean, sure, like, he was forced to make a Zealot. True, he had to make a Zealot. He lost 2 workers, but at least he was able to shut down the bunker and minimize losses, minimize any denied mining time. Not looking too bad. So Gerald does defend. Probe across the map does confirm that there is going to be a CC on location. Checking Gerald's vision, he did not quite confirm. So Gerald's still trying to piece it all together. But soon he will with the Zealot and the Stalker. And can he even delay the CC? Oh. Yeah, the counterattack has arrived. There are 2 Reapers, but they're across the map. This is disastrous. As this CC, it might even be cancelled. Yeah, it might even be cancelled here. Reaper, sure, they get 3 probe kills. That is nice, but that pales in comparison to a lost expansion. Hellions, they're halfway done. Boys, yeah, they have to be pulled. They have to be pulled. Reapers are racing back home. Oh, that CC is so low. Does good, just settle for SCV kills. Gets 1. 1 worker goes down. And even though Nicoract does defend, and he will finish that natural, it is so delayed, and look at all that lost mining time. That was, what, 5 SCVs pulled off the mineral line. So very nice damage, and the CC is not going to finish! It's still not complete. Ay, ay, ay. The punish is real. And again, if the bunker had completed, then these Stalkers would have been stuck at home, right? They would have been stuck at home dealing with the bunker. This counterattack would have been delayed. Just everything going wrong here for Nicoract. Has to pull the boys once again. And Gerald does take a worker lead. 3rd Stalker has arrived. Hellions are being targeted. The CC, it's still not going to finish. Oh my god, he gets it again. He denies. Finally, it should complete here. I spoke too soon. 1 more second. What a mess. CC does finally finish here at the natural at what, the 4-minute 30 mark. As Gerald just trading as efficiently as possible, still rallying more Stalkers across the map. Behind this, getting into Blink. Pulls back the weakened Stalker. It's going to be a 3-gate Blink setup. And this is borderline game-ending damage. I'm afraid to look. It's been 9 SCV kills. Again, big delay here at the natural. Denied mining time. Killed Hellions. Nicoract behind this, getting to a 1-1-1, working towards Cloak Banshee. True. Cloak Banshees, they can do well for themselves. Another SCV kill. Jesus. SCV's going down. Banshee gets across the map. No detection. Uh-oh. No detection for Gerald. The game is getting chaotic. We're popping off, Pappy. Banshee goes into the main. There's the cloak. Zero detection. Nicoract, he's still in this. He's still in this game. He gets some breathing room. Tank has arrived. Now he's saturating the natural. Probes are falling left and right. The rovers are still in production. Finally, just finishing. That is still 9, 10 probes. 10 workers going down. And the Banshee lives. Banshee pulls away. And suddenly, I mean, that lead that Gerald had, he still has one, I will say. I do want to emphasize that Gerald, he's still looking quite comfortable. He has Blink, he has a good Stalker army. He's going to be counterattacking with a Warp Prism as well. Oh, we pull the boys. Nicoract, he pulls the boys, Pap. He's forced into an all-in. This time, it's not even a 2-base all-in. It's a 1-base all-in, and no saturation at the natural. He's muling, I guess. But Nicoract knows that he's taken too many losses. It's all or nothing. Gets 2 Stalkers. Massive pickup. 2 Stalkers go down. Up. There is a shield battery. There is a shield battery behind this. The tanks are now sieging up within range of the pylon. Sorry, the gateways even. That is Nartos' pylon. Gateways under fire. Remember, there's only 3 gateways now. It's going to be knocked down to 2. 2 gateways, only 2 warp-ins. This was important in the previous game, and all the gateways are within range of the tanks. Oh. Now he's pushing in. He's going for the kill, going for the robo. Backup gateways on the way in the main. Stalkers, they're coming from behind. They collapse in for a full surround. They get 1 tank. Up. They don't get the other. The other tank barely lives. Oh my god. 12 HP. The tank survives, and it looks like Nicoract has done it. He breaks the natural. The tank survives. 16 SCVs go, 16 probes go down. GG gets called, and Nicoract, he will take the series at 2-1. GG. Oh my god. Whew. GG, well played. Nicoract, he was able to break out. I mean, he was forced into an all-in. Nicoract, he had like 16 SCVs. He barely had any kind of economy, but at the same time, the Banshees, they were the MVPs there. I know that the final push did end the game, but the lead up to it, the Banshees, they were able to give Nicoract some breathing room. They were able to cripple the economy as well of Gerald, able to force him back home, and then Nicoract was able to move out unscouted, able to catch Gerald a little bit there with his pants down as he was not able to slow down the push. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Oh my god. Nicoract, he will advance on to the semifinals. My condolences to Gerald. It was a very close series, very close match, very aggressive, very chaotic. I mean, non-stop all-ins out of Nicoract. You could argue that here in the ace match, he was forced into it. True. Maybe that wasn't the initial plan, but regardless, GG. And with that, we are getting ready for the upper semifinals. We're getting ready for the upper semis here as we have some results coming in. Oh boy, we have some results. Give me a moment though to quickly set things up.